good evening and welcome to this week's Tilton Talk Show with me, Chris Brown. Very, very, very busy show this evening, so I'm going to get straight in with the introductions. We've got Mark Meredith. We've got Mark Adams.
Good evening, everyone.
Polypus.
Evening all.
Claire Gibley.
Good evening.
Craig Courtney. Alan Watton.
Good evening all.
And our special guest, Brummy Joe.
Hello, hello.
Come on then, let's get straight into the game. Let's get to it, says Chris to Paul Hipkiss.
Yeah, I thought first half we held our own, shall I say. They weren't really causing many problems in the first half, were they? But then second half, it was just a different team that came out. I know we created a couple of chances and obviously Stansfield puts us 1-0 up. It's potentially a different game, but defending for the 2 goals for me was poor. I think Drame's got to do better to prevent the cross coming in. And we've just got to try and be a bit more solid at the back, but it just looked a bit lethargic and, tied in the second half and, it just didn't happen for us, did it, in the second half? And obviously Norwich are going to punish you if you're not at the races in the second half. Unfortunately, we weren't, but, we move on. We move on to this week now. We've got tomorrow and Friday and, the best thing to do is just not dwell on it too much and try and move forward. And, hopefully tomorrow night we can get that first win in 5, is it now? 5 games we haven't won 4. So let's bury that hatchet tomorrow and try and, get at least 4 points this week from the next 2 games. It'd be lovely if we could get 6, which we are capable of doing, by the way. But, first half I was reasonably satisfied. I'm not going to say I was pleased. I don't think we were good enough ever to win the game at any point, but it's just one of them bogey grounds, isn't it, Norwich? We've gone for years and years now without winning there, and there's a lot of our fans now that are going as adults that have never seen us win there. They weren't even born the last time we won there, which is very, very sad, really, to say, isn't it? Because it's just been that long.
When was the last time?
2002.
I think it was John, wasn't it?
Yeah, John.
Yeah.
Really?
We saved the penalty as well.
All right.
Yeah, that's right. Alan, I remember that well, yeah.
All right.
So, Claire and Mark, you were obviously amongst us. You were the 2 that were there at the game. Anything you want to add to what I've said? Have I missed anything?
Do you want to go first, Claire? All right, I'll go first.
Yeah, you go first.
All right then. Pretty much. It was toothless. It was flat. It was almost like we were bottom 3, and it was April, and we were in the bottom 3. There was a real lack of spark. The lineup, I've got to say, looked disjointed from the word go. There's too many players, too many 3 and 4 out of 10 performances. Don't like to dig people out, but I think the manager really has got the blame on him a little bit because it was the wrong lineup. We praise him when he's done well, and he's got to take this one on the chin because it was a real letdown. We created nothing, and it's almost like we'd gone back, 4 or 5 years.
I think
I won't mention.
Sorry, Bar.
Sorry, Paul. No, I was just going to say there's too many bad performances. I mean, Jay Stansfield, at times he was hugging the touchline. I can't quite work out what that was all about. Burke, I don't like to name names, but Burke was anonymous. Hogan, we all know Scott Hogan, well, probably justified criticism. I think his place is definitely under threat now, surely. But yeah, it was a terrible, terrible day. It capped it for me. I didn't go home till 1 o'clock in the morning because of all the coach issues and all the rest of it, but that's a different story. It's just, like you say, it's bogey ground. Hopefully we'll put it to bed. We'll get it right tomorrow. And it'll give, I think for the first time, though, I did notice a bit of a change in attitude towards the manager. I think people were questioning him for the first time, probably. And it was...
I think, I don't want to say positive, but we've only played that bad, haven't we, really, for that half? That second half at Norwich was by far the worst we've played this season in all the games so far, isn't it? Even Watford away, Preston away, I would go as far as to say that we were the better team. But
To be honest, Paul, it's not panic stations yet. I think it's more quietly sort of cautious feeling amongst everyone. We won't hit the panic button just yet. We win tomorrow and all this will be forgotten. We've got to move on. But it's a massive week coming up.
I think that it's important as well not to expect too much too soon. You know what I mean? We've got a good squad of players. We're missing a lot of key players as well through injury. So I think he probably does need a bit of slack cutting as well at the same time, although that just wasn't good enough on Saturday for me. what is the expectation this season? I think if we finish the end of the season where we are in the league now, which is 12, then that's a respectable season.
It's
that's
successful.
That's big progress from where we were.
We keep saying it. We keep saying it, Paul, don't we? We keep saying mid-table success, and it's bang on. It's true. 12th is success at the minute.
Yeah. And then in time, you'd like to think that with more backing, we can start to get higher than that. But I do think if we had a bit more luck with injuries and get more key players in the team, more regular, then we could maybe knock on the door for the top 10. I'll say.
Yeah.
But, at the moment, the way we are, if we don't book up the way we played second half at Norwich there, we could start sliding right down, because that just...
And we'll be back to where we were, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely... I think the honeymoon period's over, put it that way.
Yeah. Claire,
Definitely.
What were your thoughts?
When Joe Stansfield got the ball, we looked a threat every single time. Sunjic went back to how he used to play. We did look disjointed. I thought Ruddy was okay. I think, obviously, if Jay scores that one-on-one, fine.
Yeah.
If that was Hogan, he would have been absolutely slated.
Yes.
I understand the criticism that Hogan's had for this weekend. He didn't look bothered. He was just jogging around, la.
Yeah.
If you've got someone in the under-23s like Dixon banging in the goals, he's not too young. We had Jude Bellingham playing for us at 16, so he's not too young. I just think, Ayew needs to start. I think Langelo looked out of place. You could tell. The problem is when we've played well, we've had our best team, half of them are now injured. So you can tell that the people who are coming on are the people who we've had for the last 3 or 4 seasons when we've been in a relegation fight. So, there were some really good pieces of play. We crossed the ball in. If we had a really good finisher, we would have scored twice in the first half. I just think, the whole atmosphere, though, was different. Every other away game we've been to, it was bouncing.
Yeah.
Norwich wasn't at all. It was lack of singing, everything. I mean, they had a drum, but that's what they need to do. We don't need one. But it was so flat, and everyone was like, get Hogan off. And the thing with Eustace is, I do rate him. I think as a young manager, I think he's really good. However, I think he doesn't do the subs at the right time. Everybody was crying out for Jukovic. It was, we're getting balls into the box. As soon as Jukovic comes on, balls stop going into the box. Dembele looked good. And apparently, he's too injured to start the whole game. Playing for 60 minutes, then take him off.
Yeah.
Start with as soon as you see Burke, you go, some of the stuff he did was okay. But it just looks so disjointed. You can't, when we played Preston, yes, we lost. But we played some really good stuff and we shouldn't have lost that game.
Yeah.
I just worry because, when you've got, Sir Gary Gardner coming on, I mean, Mark Roberts on the bench. Bakuna is one of our best players. He's not playing him.
100%, yeah. Couldn't agree with that.
This is why we're getting a bit confused. You keep him with Hogan and you're trying really hard, but it's not working. So unfortunately, don't play him then. Put Dixon. Dixon he's quick, he's tall, he scores goals. He's not too young like apparently everybody's saying. Put him on. It was so frustrating. You go drive 3 hours to get there to watch them, and it wasn't great. At least fight for it and be passionate about it.
Yeah. But anyway, I want to welcome our special guest. Anyway, Joe, thanks for giving up your time tonight, mate, and joining us. What were your thoughts on the game, mate?
Yeah, no, pleasure to be here. I think you kind of summed it up quite well there. It wasn't the best game in the world, like you said. I think first half weren't too bad, but we never really looked like we got out of first gear, at all. We didn't really look like we were trying too hard. I get the situation with Stansfield as well. Totally agree. If that was Hogan, he'd be getting hammered for it. I think Stansfield, he was out wide as well, but I think he still played he was very effective in that position in the first half at least. I sort of, second half I was starting to lose attention, especially once we conceded. We just didn't look like even scoring or getting back into it whatsoever. But yeah, Hogan, I've been backing Hogan all season, and it's like he hasn't been scoring goals, but he's been playing part of this team effort of the press, and he presses really well. And yeah, like I would love it if we could try someone like Dixon potentially. I feel like with a player like that, you kind of have to not give him the pressure of a start, but maybe like look to bring him on, with 20 minutes to go or anything, which might be what you're doing. But yeah, I don't know. I think Stansfield maybe goes up there. You drop Burke, you lose Burke. Hopefully Dembele is better for, fit to start the next game, and he has to lead the front line for me. It weren't good enough, but again, it's a weird season. We've signed a lot of injury-prone players because we haven't got the budget. We are now suffering with a lot of injuries because of that. Like, again, I don't know why we even signed. What's his name? Tyler Roberts. Why did we sign him on a 4-year deal?
Waste of a signing at the minute.
I'm going off on a tangent anyway, but him, like, that's just wild in itself. But this is the position we're in. We're in a transition period. We got really excited for the first couple of games. Now we've lost a few games. Like, we're gonna level out. We're gonna be fine. It's not gonna be a crazy season. But yeah, I think this is a well-needed reality check, and I do believe that we'll win a game this week, and we'll start to just ease expectations. And I just hope, maybe Hogan scores a goal or something. But yeah, we'll have to see.
Interesting, actually, Paul. The shout box is agreeing completely with Joe and Claire in terms of the comments, and the one that I think is absolutely spot on is from Don Covenor, where he says even when we've got the injured players back, we've only got one prolific goal scorer, and unfortunately, this puts the pressure on the rest of the team, especially the defence, as they then fear conceding, because if they concede, we don't look as though we're going to go back and, please, mate, concede one, you can see us getting in it. Concede two, and at the moment, you just can't see anything happening apart from losing those 3 points. Carl Evans has said, we have got good finishers at the club in Stansfield and Dixon. We've got to play them. And I think, I agree with Joe. Dixon probably, it's a little bit too early to actually start him in the team, but bring him off the bench. And, if we've ran a defence already and 20 minutes to go, you bring down somebody with his pace, his height, and his ability to score goals, then he's straight away he's a threat. Yeah. You can't see that out of anybody else at the moment.
Craig, what about Tatsy's son as well? Frank?
Yeah.
Frank Tatum? He's another one.
Of course, he's banging him.
It's a great shout,
yeah.
Scoring for fun, full of confidence. And I know the one thing I'll say is you should never say a player should lack in confidence, because that shouldn't stop the ability of scoring a goal. But at the end of the day, when somebody's on a high, you've got to take advantage of that. And I think, Eustace has got to hold his hands up and perhaps look at the situation going into tomorrow night. Hogan should not start that game.
So,
do you mind?
Can I just come in there with Hogan? I must say, since he's been at the club, whenever he's had a good run for us and he's been on a good moment, he's always had somebody up there with him. He's always been in a two, not on his own.
In a pair,
And he had Troy with him last season at times, and he got the hat-trick at the Baggies with Troy with him. He's played with Djukovic when he first came. I think he scored 6 in his first 6 games then, or 7, under Pep Clotet. So, me personally, I think we're crying out now for a 4-4-2. And maybe have Bakuna in the middle with Bealey and give Sunic a rest. This is what I do, obviously. This is just my opinion. And then maybe Miyoshi down the right, Dembele down the left, with Stansfield and Djukovic up front from the start. But I'm not ruling Hogan out completely if he comes on and he's got Djukovic with him or Stansfield. You never know when he's got someone next to him. I just think we get more out of him, don't we, than when he's the lone striker on his own.
Yeah.
Also, sorry, Craig.
Go on, Mark.
No, I was just going to say, if other teams seem to have a goal threat all over, we don't have that.
No.
Very rarely see our midfielders running from deep, the back post or defenders chipping in like Morrison used to. We haven't got any of that.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Al? Alan, what do you think, mate? 4-4-2. Would you do that, or would you keep it as it is?
Well, I'd say with the fullbacks that we've got at the moment, I'd go back. I'd have I'd stick Awu in the middle of three and have our two fullbacks in a five, and that's just to make sure we don't concede a goal, because conceding the goal is the end of our game at the moment. And I think I agree. We need surely. He played wide on Saturday, Stansfield. He should be our centre forward. He should be our main man, and he's not. He's hovering around. Well, we haven't done that since 1956 when we had Eddie. Who got number 9 on his back and wandered all over the place. It doesn't work.
Oh, Eddie Brown.
And I look. We played 9 games. First 3, we looked like a top 6 side. Next 3, we looked like a middle of the table side. And Saturday, we looked like a relegation side, frankly.
Yeah.
And that's in the now. I'm not going to get all excited and say, it's the end of the world, because the next 9 games could be the same pattern.
Yeah. And
we win the next 3, or do well in the next 3 and think, we're back, and then we'll tail off and so on. But what I do, I tell you what, I watched every goal from the Championship on Saturday. Every goal. And I'm thinking, we never do X, we never do Y. Shots that have gone in off somebody. Very rarely do we have a shot that goes in off. We get beaten by shots like that regularly. And there was no, in all the games that I watched, there was no great football goals. They were all cutting onto mistakes, people doing stupid things, and somebody finishing off. Now, we don't do either of them things anymore. We don't press like we did. Saturday we just stood and looked at them, and they passed the ball around, and that's why the first half was so drab, because nothing was happening. Okay, they came out and pressed us, and that's how we end up losing 2 goals.
Yeah,
we had this shot. Stansfield didn't score. Great cross that Hogan was near to in the first half, but he didn't score. Mayashi hit the crossbar. You don't get anything for that. Absolutely nothing. And the header from James. Goodness me, what was he doing? If you can't score from a yard and a half, what are we talking about? Now, I know these things are they can change like that. One can fly in off somebody's backside, like I saw in every other game over the weekend. It don't happen to us, but it will do. One hopes. Somebody will have a shot, it'll deflect and blah, 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 go in the net with 1 up at home, hopefully, and we pile it on and score 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But at the moment, it's just not happening.
No, broken record time for me again, but we're screaming out. I mean, has anyone noticed England are scoring more goals since Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank has been involved with the squad on the training ground?
Yeah.
That's what we're crying out for again.
Yeah.
Get James Beattie back on the training ground with the players to show them where the goal is again. Last time we were there, it was the most goals we scored in a season since Chris Hughton was here.
We need to shoot. We need to shoot. There's so many times where Miyashi's through and he's trying to pass.
Yeah, we've got good coaches there, but we haven't got any former attacking players amongst them, have we?
No.
So,
but we can't defend anyway. So even though we've got defensive coaches, we can't defend. I mean, Sanderson's had a really bad form at the moment. He's had 3 games where
he's looked dodgy, hasn't
he? Yeah, Preston. The second goal was his fault, and we're trying to pass it down the back, but there's no tempo, there's no intensity, there's nothing. They were on us straight away. They had a bit of tempo.
Yeah.
We don't shoot. We don't shoot. Well, we're through on goal, and then we don't shoot. And we're going, what are you doing? Just shoot. Does like Alan said, if it goes off somebody's, heel, back, whatever, it's still a goal, isn't it? However it goes in.
Yeah, absolutely. But even if we got Robbo back with as a defensive coach and James Beattie back as an attacking coach, that could be or even Kevin Phillips to show him where the net is, or whatever it takes, just to get us scoring more goals, because it's always been our problem, hasn't it, Mark Meredith?
Yeah. Is it like,
I put Kevin Phillips in the side.
Yeah, absolutely.
oh, God, yeah.
What
It
do you
is.
think, Mark? Do you agree with that, Mark? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Or
No, I'm with you 100%. I think
as a coach yourself, like.
Yeah, no, we spoke a couple of, now for the last couple of weeks, like you said, a broken record. But yeah, we don't score enough goals. We don't look like scoring enough goals. It's certainly, I think, something that we try to do here as well when we coach is we obviously try to get coaches to work with position specific. So I think it is really good. But going back to the defending side as well, I do agree with Alan on the 5 at the back, and we hate to say it, but the biggest thing for me losing Laird and Buchanan has been the worst. I know obviously we lost Dembele and people like that, but I think we have more threat going forward than we do defensively. And I think Sanderson's form's probably lacked off a little bit without having those two fullbacks. Because, again, you think about it, you build a relationship with your back four. So if you're the centre-back, you're the captain, you build a relationship with that group, obviously, and with Ruddy as well, so a back five. And the coaches will talk about that all the time, building relationships within your phase of play, so to speak. So it's a big change losing, left back and right back. And what I said last week, I keep it. Longello's not a left back. He's not good enough to defend. The other boy, Draham, or how we would pronounce that. Draham. For me, he doesn't look. He looks rusty. Doesn't look like he's ready to go. Not what we had with Laird when he came in. I think at this time it's putting a third centre back in. Let's see how the new guy is, and going from there. I think we really will be a lot more solid defensively. And I do believe that with Stansfield in the team and a couple, Dembele maybe, and we will get a goal. So I think if we can keep it at the other side, then you take a 1-0 win for sure. It's still 3 points, but I think that's the biggest thing for us now. Is I think we have got key players injured, and it's not an excuse. Listen, I think from a coach's point of view, I blame Eustace on Saturday, and I hate to say that because I never try to ever say it's a coach's problem, but seeing the team and seeing the positions of some of the players was just, a massive question mark before we went on the field. And so I think he'll learn from that, and I think we'll see big changes again tomorrow. But as everyone said on the call, take one win tomorrow, good win tomorrow, and everything's forgotten about and we move forward. Big game's going to be obviously Friday night, local derby. And, last year we went into it, if you remember, we went into it not in form last year, and I think Albion were in real form, and we ended up getting a double over them last year. So
yeah,
hopefully 2 positive results this week, and we can get back to, I wouldn't say believing, because I think we've always said the whole time that, mid-table is going to be a success for us. And the biggest thing for me is that I think some of our fans jumped on the wagon of promotion too quick with the change of owners and everything like that. And I think that, the problem is now the turn, the way the fans are, is obviously is worse than it should be. I think we may lose more games than we win this year.
Yeah, sorry, mate. One question for you. Would you start 5 at the back tomorrow then with Sunic and Bielik as well, or would you play just one holding and 2 more?
I think I just put one. I think I just put one holding, and then I put one in there behind the front. You got to play Bakuna. You've got to, and you can't bring him in as a left back or a right back either. You got to play him in his position. He's the biggest playmaker we have. I'd now rest Hogan and just give him a little breather and see how that goes. Stansfield, you need to play really. Dembele, I think you've got, if he's fit again, he's gonna. And I really agree with Claire on that one. Start him, take him off at half time if you have to, but give him the start of the game because that's where we want it to. Our best players to play, and then give the Dixons and people like that the second half of the game when people tire. Because you got Dembele running at you for 60 minutes, and then he goes off and Dixon comes on, then. I wouldn't be happy defender to have that running around. So
no, very true. So, but yeah. Anyway, Joe, can we take it back to? I want to. Sorry, Claire, go on.
I know, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I thought you did.
Me. Has anybody seen this Dixon play?
Go on, Al.
Has anybody actually seen Dixon play?
No.
Yeah, in the under 23s. Have you seen his goals all over YouTube and everything? I think I watched a programme and he came from Crystal Palace, didn't he? And he was all on that programme. He's a good player. He's strong, quick, tall. I mean, he's better than what we've got. Is it like, do you know what I mean? If he's scoring goals in the under 23s, I know the under 23s are a totally different ball game compared to, you know, senior football. But we do bring good players through.
Yeah. They've got to be bloodied at some time. Yeah. Give
him a chance. Yeah, he's got nothing to lose, have we? Really, give him a chance.
But it's the main right now. He's not going to be worse than what we've got up there right now in this situation.
No.
If it doesn't work, if it doesn't work, and tomorrow and Friday, then we go back to what we can. I think Dukey can give us a lot. You know, I think
to be fair, it's early days, but to be fair, I think there's not much difference between Burke and Cosgrove.
No, exactly.
Because
anyway,
Joe, just like for like at the minute.
Yeah, I just want to bring Joe in if I can. And
if anyone else agrees.
What's that, Mark? Sorry.
Somebody's dinner, I think. Yeah.
What was that, Mark? Agrees with what? Sorry, mate.
Mark?
No, so I was just saying that at the moment, there's Burke and Cosgrove is like there's no difference between Burke and Cosgrove.
I think Cosgrove
may as well
better. At least, yeah. Anyway, sorry. Joe, I want to bring you in, mate, and I want you to tell us how you started YouTubing and doing your vlogs and you're recording yourself in the stadium watching the game, and where did it all start, and how many people watched your first ever video? Can you remember, and where it was? Where was your first ever vlog, and how many people watched it? Because there's loads now, I know that.
It was only 12.
I was gonna say as well. Like, there's a lot of doom and gloom. Like, before we go into that, I'm hearing so much doom and gloom, and I'm like, I don't think it's that bad.
It's
really
traditional.
don't.
It's traditional.
And also, it's very easy to say, "Oh, we can bring this kid in," when like I haven't seen him play. I know he's promising. I mean, I think he's been involved in a couple of the squads and stuff like that. I think he'll get it. Like, he'll get his time. He'll get his moment when he wants to. But also, like, yes, we haven't had a win in like 5 games. But we've started the season so well. We've been a little bit unlucky. We've had injuries. And yes, that is our fault for signing injury-prone players. But I really think, like, these conversations... Okay, let's have these conversations if we're in the bottom 3, if we're floating around the bottom 3 and stuff. Yeah. And yes, we need to score more goals. But I personally wouldn't be changing the entire system, the system that's worked well for the majority of this season, and start like mixing things up out of panic, because that's when you don't realise what's going on. You have no philosophy, and then you just sort of like guessing your lineup, and it's like Steve Cottrell's lineup lottery. Like, I think you've got to stick with it. Personally, like, yes, we were bad against Norwich. Yeah, we could have scored against QPR. But before that, we were very unlucky against Watford. And we made a couple very poor errors at Preston. However, like, most of the games we've lost, we've looked really good. And maybe that is blind optimism from me. Yes, Hogan should be scoring more. But also, like, our options are to bring in this young kid, or to panic sign another Brock Madsen, panic sign another Cosgrove. Like, I would rather us really struggle to score goals for a season and finish mid-table, and not panic buy one in January, not have panic bought one in the summer, and then actually next summer we can get the right striker. Because the amount of times I've seen us try to sign a good one and it's just crumbled, like, it's not worth it, in my opinion.
I think people's frustrations as well, Joe, is everyone sees Stansfield as a goal machine, basically. He can finish, and he's not playing in that 9. He's not playing up there.
Totally agree. Totally agree there, mate. Like, again, first half of Norwich, I thought he was effective in the position that he was in. I think part of Eustace is like, Hogan is the only other player I have. I need to give him some confidence. I want it. Please score. I think that's what he's thinking. But the time's probably run out for him to do that. I think it's time to take a little bit of pressure off Hogan, put Stansfield up front, or maybe link him with Dukey a little bit, just get the knockdowns, that kind of thing, and then ease Hogan back in, because you have to kind of nurture him. But
I suppose basically
anyway.
that good start to the season probably hasn't done us any good, because now the expectation,
Yeah,
that's the problem.
I think people are expecting too much too soon, weren't they? A little bit, but
I think so.
We can all dream, though, can't we? Because the improvements that we saw to St Andrews, obviously, in that first game, you know, and everything that was going on in the summer that since they've been here, what they've done in such a short space of time is pretty phenomenal, isn't it? Off the field and on it, really. We've signed a lot of players in a short space of time, you know, so we've got to give them time to gel as well.
Yeah.
Also, we've even signed models like that. Awo, he's a great model for the club shop, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the call as well, Joe. I'm still waiting for the call.
You could be a long time. Could be a long time.
When the wigs come out,
Me and Craig are in front of you.
I want me to model the socks. Anyway, so let's go back to the beginning of your YouTubing, mate. How long have you been doing this, and when did it start? And what happened? Did just one day do you think I'm going to start doing this? And where was your first game recorded?
I like doing YouTube and making. I made videos since I was in like year 5. I was about 10 years old. We used to make like, and there is actually one still on YouTube. We used to make Harry Potter light spoofs. But all we did, me and my best mate, when I was like from the age of about 8, 9-ish, we just always make videos and stuff. It was just our thing, our hobby. And then like, you know, time went on and I tried to do some things, like I tried to do like gaming YouTube and stuff like that. And the name, like, I remember the trying to think of a name for my channel, and I think originally it was like Silver Fox or something like that, because I've got grey hair, but it's not that grey. So I was like, nah. But when I was I must have been about 12, and on Xbox, I met a guy called Brummy Daz. And I was like, oh, that's a cool name. So then I just renamed my Xbox thing to Brummy Joe, so just totally nicked his thing. And then down the line, I made my YouTube, and I saw Spencer Owen doing some ones down West Ham. Obviously saw Davo and that, and like sort of got inspired by that, and was like, I'd love to do that. It like mixes the two passions together. I love blues. I love making videos. Why not put it together and try and like put my own twist on things and stuff? And the first game was Cardiff away. I think it was the season. Was it 2016 when Leicester won the title?
Yeah.
Yeah. 16.
That's the first one, and I saw Adibola in the concourse.
Oh right, yeah.
And then I went a whole season without doing one because I got too nervous. And then the next one was the last game of the season. The next season, which was Bristol City away with Che Adams and Harry Redknapp, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I kind of went consistently from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and
I enjoy.
Yeah.
You what?
I was going to say, you're constantly recording yourself watching the game, or is it just little bits and bobs that you record, or?
No, it's weird because I tried different ways of doing it. Like originally, I just kind of wanted to get things to the game and stuff, and like one, there's like EFL restrictions, so you can kind of get copyrighted for it, and two, like it is kind of what Davo does as well. And I wanted to give a different experience. But yeah, what happens is I just kind of like, if there's a chance coming up, I'll just have it ready to go and watch the game. But yeah, it is weird. I think Swano said something as well, like he found it really weird doing it, and it is very bizarre. But you kind of just get used to it, and like enough people enjoy it. I gave it up for like a year last year and stuff, and I was like kind of deciding whether to come back and do it, but I thought I'd give it a go. And yeah, it's a good bit of fun. It's like getting those moments are great, and like for me as well, like when I go to games with my dad and that kind of thing, and like getting those moments, I feel like there's so much in that. And then you know, I saw someone message me, and like her son like was watching the video and like going mad and stuff, and it's really, really nice and rewarding to see that. So it makes it kind of like, if you get a few, you know, poor comments or like some people trying to be, you know, funny, then it doesn't really matter when you've got people that enjoy it. So that's what.
Yeah. I want to shout out your dad as well. Your dad's a legend, mate. I'll never forget him on that zip liner in Vegas singing "Keep Right On." Remember that, Joe?
Yeah, man, he's a legend.
Quality. Has everyone seen that?
Yeah.
No, I don't think I have.
Absolutely creased at that.
I don't think I've seen
I'll
that.
have to send it in. I'll see if I can find a link.
Find a lamp if you like.
Have to have a look.
Yeah. So,
I'll see if I can throw it in the chat.
I certainly enjoy watching your videos, mate, and so does my daughter as well. So keep up the good work, mate.
Excellent.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We do it.
Moving on, then we're going to move on to the content awards, the football content awards.
Yeah, just before we go to the content awards, can we just say our thoughts are with Nick and family, Craig, regarding his.
Indeed, there's quite a few people that have been asking on the show box and separate messages how Nick is, whether he's well, etc. It is sad news that Nick and his family have received the passing of his brother. So he's not with us, but he's with us with our thoughts. And I know for everybody else, it's condolences from all of us. And Nick, you know, we know you're there for us, so we're there for you whenever you need it as well. So get you back soon. Condolences to you and all the family.
I have spoken to him tonight. He's in good spirits, and I have said, I've reiterated what you've just said, that, you know, we're all there for him, and come back when you're ready. No rush.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Paul, yes, the awards and the great news that we received just over a week ago now, in that we as the show have been shortlisted for the best podcast in the Football League at the Football Content Awards. So firstly, thank you to everybody that voted so far. Without your votes, we wouldn't have got to the stage we're at now, and I wish we could carry forward the votes that we'd already received, but it starts again. So we are asking for everybody to continue with their support for us. But it's not just us. The club are in the running for digital content, and our friends at Blues Focus are also up for club content at the awards. And I can say that we are actually representing not just the club but the city. So anybody that hasn't voted, I will put up a link after the show, but it is on the website already. But please cast your vote. Doesn't cost anything. You don't have to leave your personal details. It's not the type of thing where you're going to get spammed if you're leaving your email address as well. But every vote counts. Closing for the voting is midnight on Sunday. And we will all be making our way up to Anfield for the awards ceremony, which is in November. So along with your votes, there's also a panel of judges that watch the shows, look at the content that we do, see the comments and feedback from people. So please, you know, help us out, and hopefully in November we can come back and Mr. Brown will have a piece of silverware sitting behind him.
It'd be great, wouldn't it? Bring a bit of software back to Blues. That'd be a rarest treat, wouldn't it? Yeah, first one since 2011. Apart from that catering award, obviously.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so get voting, guys. Get voting. We're up against some really good podcasts, but we do believe we have a great chance this year. A really good chance.
And do we have a following in Dallas there, Mark?
Of course we do.
Yeah, of course. Me?
Got many votes? Got many votes? Oh, yeah. Are you a local celebrity in Dallas because you're on air?
Me and my wife.
I had my picture taken the other day at Norwich because I was on the Tilton Talk.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, Claire's a celebrity now.
Often
Claire gets photographs with fans, and Mark just gets mugshots for prison.
Yeah.
I've got your shirt as well, Mark Meredith. I'll get you a shirt over as well, so you can wear that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good
What
stuff.
about in West Sussex, Alan? Are you famous down there? You get, you getting us many votes down there?
I'm trying. I'm using my grandchildren as I'm exploiting them. Tell your mates to vote for us. They're the only ones that watch.
Good stuff.
Don't say
Excellent.
that. Don't say that.
So that's just... Yeah, go on, Chris.
I was going to say, can you get Brummy Joe to point his camera up his nose? I didn't recognise him.
That's very good. I love
Who said that?
That's Pete Taylor. Yeah, he does look different, actually, doesn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
There
a
you
few
go.
comments.
Just in case, there's the bottom of my chin as well.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah.
Steve Jobs wants to know if you're running for Prime Minister next time round as well, Joe.
That is a no.
We move on to Joe's 1 to 11.
What time is it? Yes. Okay. Yep. Let's go.
So, Joe, we asked you to pick your strongest 11, didn't we, from all your life so far, being a Blues fan, obviously, from what you can remember so far, and obviously you're going to make us probably all feel old, apart from maybe Claire.
Yeah.
So
And
if
Chris.
you can tell us what your strongest 11 is and what your formation is and who the manager and captain is as well, please, mate.
I'm going to get some stick for this, I reckon.
You will, yeah. I can guarantee.
To be fair, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I'll try my best here. I'll try to get a range of names down and not just put the Carling Cup winning team. So we'll see. But I literally should just go for that. But yeah, I've gone for, and again, controversial manager Alex McLeish, but considering he won us the trophy, I've got to go for it. Bruce was great. Bruce was probably the first one I had. Yeah, I think I started properly watching Blues, like as in consciously and not just, sucking me thumb, was like 06, 07. So I'm going from roughly there.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit before, from like what I'm seeing on TV and stuff and memorable moments. So yeah, manager Alex McLeish, goalkeeper Ben Foster, League Cup final and that Chelsea game. I remember that Chelsea game like it was absolutely incredible, and I've never watched a game and thought how have we not conceded? So yeah, I mean, what a player, and also he's a YouTuber, so got to go for him, ain't I?
Absolutely.
Left back. Now, in my time, we haven't really been blessed with left backs. I mean, arguably, I had to go for Liam Ridgewell. He's just best for me in terms of what I've seen. Since him, really, we kind of had no real good left back. It's kind of nice to see us having a pretty solid one in Buchanan now. Centre back, I had to go for the pairing of Johnson and Dan, Scott Dan and Roger Johnson, just because we signed them two, and their partnership was incredible. Obviously, they had very different careers after they left Blues, but together for like that time they were together, it was unbelievable. We didn't. Obviously, Scott Dan was injured for the final, but he was incredible. I thought that was it. That was us lost. But in another universe, he could have been fit for that game, and we could have lost it. So there we go. That's things happen. Right back, and my captain, it's Stephen Carr. Absolute rock, straight out of retirement. He just was incredible. Like, I don't think anyone really expected him to be as good as he was. And again, I know I'm referring to the final a lot, but this is really the best thing that's ever happened in the time that I've watched Blues. I remember hearing a story, I think Ben Foster was saying it, where the Arsenal fans could see or hear the Blues changing room, and like Carl was giving the sort of team talk before the game, and he sort of led this roar from the team, and they walked out and they saw that like the Arsenal players, and you could just see it in their eyes. They were like, okay, they're actually a little bit nervous, they're a bit scared, like Blues are here to do something. And he was just brilliant. I absolutely love Stephen Carr. Amazing.
Amazing.
Left mid, not sure. I put McFadden here. I think he played up front, but he could play left mid. I put him there. I was gonna go, I'm not sure. No, I think a lot of the ones that I think are left mids are up front, because I was considering Zarate, but I think he played like 5 games. But I really liked him. But yeah, I'll put for McFadden there. Centre mid pairing of Barry Ferguson, who again, Barry Ferguson I absolutely loved him. He was incredible, and you got to have Jude. Got to have Jude in there, because yes, he was like doing his GCSEs when he played for us, but even then, he was just pulling the strings. He knew exactly what he was doing, and what a legend, and how blessed we are for him to have played for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right mid. I'm going for Seb Larsson. Just one of my favourite players growing up. He just was incredible. It was great to see him. Shout out to Chris Burke as well. Like, when he not as good as Seb Larsson, more of the championship, more of when we were not amazing. But there was that one season where he got like 13 goals, 11 assists, and every time he cut inside, you just thought it was a goal. It was brilliant. But yeah, Larsson, never forget that goal against Spurs, man. That is the best goal. Just unbelievable. There's that and Jerome's against Liverpool. Like 2 goals where I thought, is this Blues that I'm watching? What is going on? Up front, I've got Dugarry. Again, not like, don't remember a lot of him, but like it was more probably highlight reels when I was younger, and just seeing my dad constantly showing me like, look, this is what he used to do. Like, look how amazing he was. But finally, up front, I've gone for a classic 4-4-2. I was going to go 4-4-5-1 because it's Alex McLeish, but went 4-5-4-2. my favourite player, the player that got me into blues properly, Mikel Forsell. He is my favourite player ever.
Yeah,
I loved him. Absolutely loved him. Back of the
imagine
shirt.
him as striker coach.
I love it.
That's what we need. That's what we need.
Yeah, imagine him.
I was crying out for it. I remember he came back to Leeds in 2011, 2012, and I was like, I was gutted because he's my favourite of all time, and yeah, I'd love him to come back. Maybe he will.
Yeah,
you never know.
That's
Do you want to hear my worst really quickly? Just as a little, because I did it for a joke. Richard Kingston, Tyler Blackett, San Jose, David Edgar, Valerie, Jefferson Montero, Chekendoy, Adam Clayton, Kleb, Costley, and Marcus Bent. And out of those, I remember waiting for Carlos Costley's debut. Took him like 10 minutes to be subbed on. We were so excited. And yeah, he played like 8 games, did absolutely nothing. How costly.
Yeah, we've had some great players and there over the years, but we've had some bad ones as well, haven't we? Because, yeah. But no, some team, mate, that is you want to 11. Well, some team your bad 11s as well, but yeah, you want to quality, mate. Yeah, really good. If we had that side now, we'd romp this division comfortably, wouldn't we?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, a lot of good players missed out, and obviously it's mainly the League Cup winning team, but yeah, some great players in there.
Yeah, and was you at that game, Joe? Obviously, I presume you was at Wembley on that wonderful day.
Yeah, thankfully, I was. How old would I have been? I think I was like 16, and I was hammered. I was so hammered after that. When we won that game, we all got a minivan down, and the driver was an Arsenal fan, and it was very quiet from him on the way back. And then we kind of went out around, I don't even know where it was, London or somewhere. I remember strolling off, getting some chicken, but I was absolutely hammered, and I had the best time. And I remember just texting all my mates at school, just being like, I told you. And I was like, no, it wasn't even lucky. It wasn't even lucky. And I had that argument for the next month about how, was it the keeper or someone should have been sent off because they took Bowyer down and they got offside. Was it the keeper?
First minute.
Yes.
Last minute. Yeah.
As soon as that happened, I was like, typical Blues.
That's
what you think, innit?
Yeah, I mean, we would have been robbed in 2 cup finals if we hadn't gone on to win that one, because we were robbed in 2001 as well on AJ when he went down, obviously with Onshow. But surely Lightning couldn't strike twice, could it? So it was justice that obviously, that we went on to win that game, just for that pure reason, really, because if that hadn't have been given, and we'd have gone on to what?
You know what, Paul? It's in 2011. I genuinely remember sitting there at Wembley thinking, whatever, if we lose 3-1, we've scored a goal in the cup final, and I've seen us score a goal in a major cup final. I know we had the 2001, but that was just, I was kind of in a weird way content just seeing us take the lead. But to hang on like that, even now, 12 years on, and it's still so surreal even now. I don't think I'll ever sink into it.
I still dine out on it now, I do. I still say, even to them up the road, that we're the only West Midlands club to win a major trophy in high definition. Still a fact.
Classic.
Doesn't look like it. I watched it not long ago. It's blurry, man. Do you remember the time waiting, and you'd see the ball constantly just ping in, and you'd see someone trying to head it? That was the most painful time ever. But can we have a shout out and a quick throwback to that semi-final against West Ham? What a game! Oh
yeah! Unbelievable!
Yeah,
unbelievable. One of the best nights at St Andrews, weren't it, in recent times?
That's probably what ruined the Tilton, wasn't it, and the cup?
Well, they reckon the Ipswich game.
It was actually bouncing.
Yeah.
Ipswich was as well, though.
Ipswich.
I think we ruined it ourselves. It wasn't the concrete; it was us bouncing up and down.
Yeah, no, the Ipswich game was
repaired.
Yeah.
And on the repairs, actually.
Good.
We've had the news come out to us of the West Brom game being our pilot game for the safe standing in the Tilton, and so it's great that things are on track. From a fan's point of view, just like to understand from the message board, really, of those people that were there, and Mark, I know you're one of them from that lower tier. But how many people are returning, and what are people's thoughts on the safe standing? And actually, it'd be interesting to know how many people are planning to be there for the West Brom game and be in those seats? So, you know, personally, I'm at the top of the Tilton. I wouldn't ever change, but that's purely because I love my seat. I love the people around me, apart from Claire.
And,
I was going to say that. Do they like you? I mean, that's the...
Well, you know, that's questionable.
As well.
Yeah.
But no, it'd be great just to get it open and have people back in that lower tier after many years. But really, I'm interested in what people's thoughts are regarding it. So, Mark, yay or nay to going back?
You know what? It's a weird one because a lot of people around me have come from over from the Tilton are wanting to stay in the Gilmery lower simply because they've got to know people around them. They're used to it now. And there's a bit of a question mark if you've got little ones with you, will they be able to see? You know, people standing up or whatever. Yeah. So for me, it's 50. I could go over, but in a way, I'll be like a Billy No, mate. Well, I am anyway, but
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
I guess a good way of testing that, Mark, is in the test event, isn't it? Obviously, go and see what.
Exactly.
That's what it's for. Yeah, that's what it's
for.
Yeah,
that's what it's for. I've got to say. I mean, hand on heart, when I was moved over to the Gilmery, I was a bit. I miss the Tilton, but the atmosphere is really good in the Gilmery.
It is, yeah.
I'm surprised how good the atmosphere is.
But I just can't wait for that first game when the Cop and Tilton is fully open again. You know, which will hopefully be by the year. You know, we get a full house hopefully for that first game, which I think we probably will do, because it's going to be a massive novelty, isn't it, when the whole stadium's open again? And we'll have the place absolutely rocking again, won't we? It's been rocking. It's been really good anyway. The way but it'll be even better, won't it? It'll go up on another scale once we've got the stadium fully open.
To be honest, Paul, that could be the launch pad for another good set of results. It could be another little things like that. It could set us off on another longer beat run. You don't know. So you never know.
Yeah. No, exactly. And Craig, did you want to cover the obviously a good result yesterday for Blues women as well?
Oh yeah, it's fantastic and a great game considering they were playing the team at the top of the league at the time, and you know that result's been coming. They've missed the luck over the games that they've had previously, and everything came together yesterday. It was a great result. Such a shame they couldn't keep that clean sheet. But you know what? It's the first 3 points on the board now, and it's hopefully that stepping stone that will take them forwards. And another big game on Sunday coming up against Sunderland at St Andrews. Again, season ticket holders, don't forget, you know, if you've got a free ticket, if you can't get there, somebody else can use it. So please, let's get as many people down to St Andrews as we possibly can to back the ladies. And, you know, I watched some of the games, actually, including the Chelsea game yesterday in the Women's Super League. And the thing that I think really stood out was when the fans are behind you and you've got that little bit of an atmosphere inside the ground, makes such a difference. We can do it. Start the season, there was 2,500 down there for the pre-season against Liverpool. That was a freebie. There's no difference in effect for season ticket holders now. It is free. Yeah. So let's get people down there. Let's support the ladies. Let's get behind Darren and the team, and hopefully we can continue that push forwards now and build on the momentum from last weekend.
Just back to earlier questions earlier today. How long do we think the ownership will give John Eustace?
I think that if results don't pick up in the next 5 games, you know, then they'll probably start looking at it personally. I think because
five games. Do you think they'll let 5 games run? Loss?
Yeah, I think so.
5 losses. 5 losses.
I think they will. I'd like to think they will because I do like John Eustace. I'd love to see him turn it around for us because, you know, he's done okay with what he's had to work with so far. Since he's been at the club, he's done okay. But you know, these owners, their ambition is to get the club as a global brand, isn't it? And they keep using the 2 words world class, and you ain't going to achieve world class greatness in 3 or 4 months, are you? So it is going to take time, but it's whether or not they see him as the right man to get us to the next level in the Championship, I'll say. But he's only going to be able to do that, though, with the right tools and the right players as well. And I think he definitely deserves time and the chance to prove himself. But what does everyone else think? What do you reckon, Mark, in America?
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we don't want to push panic buttons now. I think we've cried out for years and years to have some stability with it. The old owners were very much a sack board, and we changed so many. I just still think going back, they made the mistake with Rowett when they bought in Zola. I think from there, it just continued to happen. But yeah, I think if they're smart, I think that at least give him this season, and then bring him in at the end of the season, discuss with him depending on where we are in the league, where we finish. But honestly, I think he's done very well with what he's had and what he's been through so far. And I think hopefully the owners see that. And as you say, over the last 5 games, it needs to be better. Results-wise, the problem is, as fans, we want to see them play good football, which is great. But from a business side of things and ownership side of things, it's results. That's the game.
Yeah,
and for the fans as well, we all want to win, but I mean, results are what's going to cost the manager their job at the end of the day. And so, I would hope end of the season. If I was saying differently, then I'd probably think by Christmas time they're going to look at it again and just start to plan into 2024 and really, like you said, really believe if he's going to be the manager, not to take us to the Premier League, but just to keep us stable in the Championship first.
No, absolutely.
I'll give it till Christmas.
Yeah, what do you reckon, Joe? What do you think, Joe? What do you think, mate? What's your thoughts on this?
I think it's a funny old game, isn't it? Because this time last month, start of September, Rangers were rumoured to be involved with him, and then we were like, let's give him a new contract. Maybe we're going to give him a new contract. He's on one till 2025 at the minute. I think unless it looks like we're going to get relegated, unless it looks really, really poor, I think we give him time. The only thing I think from the owners is they probably want their own man, and if the sentiment from the fans is we want to see some wins again. Then it would be easier for them to let him go. The concern there is, as you say, do we have another Zola thing? I don't want Rooney. We keep hearing things about Rooney, the project, and always, big in America. He's a big name. He's not the man. So unless you've got someone really good lined up, then I just don't see the point. Unless it's like a really big risk of us getting relegated.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people on the shout box. They're actually saying, and I think I saw it on Saturday as well, that it was time for him to go. And I can't see it. It's not. So, firstly, and a question to everybody on here and also on the shout box, right? Have we seen our best team yet? Because to me,
first games, First games, I think we have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Swansea and Leeds.
Yeah, I think he's had his first full pre-season. They look fitter than ever in the first few games. I think the international break again has cost us. We just seem to, after the international break, I don't know what happened, but some of the football that we have played this season has been brilliant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, the last few games, we haven't had the results, but like Joe said, at the end of the day, it can be tweaked, and then all of a sudden, in 5 games' time, we might go on a run, and then all of a sudden we love him again. We're really fickle. That's the problem.
I think that's all football fans, though, isn't it?
If you said to me 12th, I said 12th at the start of the season. If we finish 12th, we've done amazing, as long as it's above 17th. But I think everyone got so wrapped up in playoffs and going up.
Yeah.
We need to just calm down a little bit and just give him a bit of a chance, because, we don't want Rooney. Potter's name. I mean, Potter went to Chelsea and Brighton.
Yeah.
He's going to go to a Premier League team at some point. We just need to get a grip.
Yeah.
Just need patience. That's all we need.
Yeah.
How many years have we been in this mess? How many times has the owners tried to change it quickly? You had Dong trying to do his 3-year plan, spending so much money sacking managers, so much money buying players, trying to get the right players that are going to fit in one season. This never works. Let's take a step back, Blues fans, and let's enjoy the wins. Suck it up when we get a loss and whatever. We're 12th at the minute, and people are acting like we're in the bottom 3, we're not. So let's have a breather. We've got a lot of games coming up. We're so early in the season. We're 9 games in. Let's see where we are at Christmas. You can't judge any manager or any team yet until you've played a decent amount of games. Add on to that, we've got the injury sort of crisis. All I can say from this season so far is we can look at scoring more goals, but it is also very good football, what I'm seeing. And we've had the rub of the green sometimes. We haven't at other times. Where do we sit? In the middle. We've got a very, very thin squad. Like, we're doing okay, in my opinion. It's just recency bias. That's all it is.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I agree. Alan, you wanted to say something, mate?
I agree with everything that's been said. I just want to put one thing into the mix. That you mentioned 5 weeks, but in those 5 weeks, Mr. Beale, from who was Rangers manager till Sunday, will be touted for every team in the country. They'll say, "Oh, he's available. He's a successful manager," and our owners might think, "Well, do we after that 5 weeks?" And I think that's a reasonable amount of time. And Mike Beale is still available, and we haven't won a game. Something like that. Now there might be other managers hovering around. I don't know. But I just got this feeling that man might. I mean, he's managed in the city before. It's not like he's coming to somewhere that he doesn't know. He obviously didn't understand the Rangers Celtic rivalry, but I'm sure he will understand the Blues Villa rivalry. And you just look and think, well, if Eustace was to go, he would be the perfect fit. Now, that's just conjecture. That 5 weeks, we might win all 5 and we'll forget about Mike Beale and anybody else for that matter. But if we don't win those 5, how twitchy are the owners going to get? And when there's somebody out there that's, and there's, what's his name, the ex-Brighton manager in Chelsea, Graham Potter. Graham Potter's still hovering around, and he might be a perfect fit. Who knows? And all these factors will affect the decisions that are made. And the only way John Eustace can be sure of warding them off is to win a few games.
And
it doesn't have. He doesn't have to win all 5. He just have to go through 5 games where he picks up a couple of wins, a couple of draws, and a defeat, and everybody will be fine again.
It's a confidence thing as well, isn't it? I mean, get a couple of wins under your belt. Yeah.
It's on the message board. I mean, Nigel Mann, actually, I totally echo this. Are we that fickle after 5 games? Come on, let's back the manager, joys and sorrows. Because let's just think, a couple of weeks back, right, we were singing his name at the end of each game because his team had gone out and got a result. But we arguably probably weren't playing as decent football at that point in time as actually what we are now. And we need one of these, sods of a goal that just bounces off somebody's backside and crosses the line. Right. We need one of those 95th minute winners that everybody then remembers. But it's an instant change in the atmosphere. And Claire and Mark both said it about Saturday. It's unusual for our away support to be quiet. But actually...
Nervous, I think. Very nervous.
They haven't got anything really to go away and sing about. But back him to the hill. He's in charge of the club at the moment. I've got to say, as feedback from people that I've spoken to is they haven't seen a group of players and the camaraderie that's in that dressing room that there is at the moment for a very long time. And that's the start off. I think we get a couple of results and everything could be forgotten. And we're not world beaters. No. We are punching well above our weight at the start of the season. Right, nobody at all would have put us where we were. And yes, we've got a better squad on paper, but we are yet to see that squad come together in its entirety. Injuries was that and various other things.
They're playing devil's advocate there, Craig. I see Preston in the top 3. I see Ipswich top of the league. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Are these teams really that much better than us?
Preston lost 4-0 yesterday or Saturday.
Yeah.
4-0 to the Baggies. And the Baggies didn't have a proper forward on view. They had to make do and men because their strikers were injured. They won 4-0.
Yeah,
they're very different teams to us, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Ipswich have got a lot of momentum. They have the team. They all know how to play with each other. It's not all about who's got the best players. Obviously, you look at Leicester. Yeah, Preston is the same. They've surprised me loads, but we have our turnover of players. Obviously, is needed, but it's massive, and it's going to take time. And we need to give them. It takes a lot of like a couple of seasons maybe to actually get that core of Blues together that you just add little bits to. Well, we've had to overhaul the whole team, so that's why teams like that are above us.
We put 3 or 4 year contracts in, so hopefully, like you just said, Joe, at least we'll have the core of the squad over the next 3 or 4 years. But the only thing with the Blues is are people getting used to how we play. If you play really wide against us, you've got a chance. Burnley did it, Plymouth did it. So as soon as Norwich did it, they had their wing backs really, really far out wide. They're basically on the touchline. We're a very narrow team. So is it that sometimes he needs to switch it up just to surprise a little bit and then go back? I don't know.
What I do like that the squad's young now, isn't it? We've got some good young players that have got a
That's
good
the thing.
Yeah.
I did see a comment earlier on the board, actually, which I totally disagree with, and that's that John Eustace doesn't believe in the youth, because actually our squad is pretty much youth. It's just that they're not our players that we've brought through our ranks.
Yeah,
there was a question around Joe Bellingham, right? Job made that move not because I don't think he was going to get a chance at Birmingham, but he was playing in his brother's shadow, and that was something that. For that guy, the weight of expectation on his shoulders was probably greater than any other player that was turning out at that point in time. And that's not fair on him. And yes, he's gone to Sunderland and thriving, right? And good luck to him. But at the end of the day, it wasn't right for him at Birmingham. Jason Hughes has said August was less than 40 days ago when the euphoria was ridiculous and expectation was in full flow. It's just a case now of when they're talking about changing of opinions and talk of sackings, we weren't that good at the start of the season, but we had some momentum and it will come again. And he's also, sorry, Paul, last thing, he's also said it must affect John Eustace. All these names being bound about, and the expectation on him at the moment seems to be absolutely massive. But he's got passion. He is taking that to the club. And the last thing we want is for that passion to be sucked out of him, because at that point we lose him.
I think we need to remember as well, this is only his second ever full year as a manager. He's still a rookie in
anywhere.
And he's probably never faced pressure like this before.
I think for me,
I can't help thinking this injury list. What gets to me is, first of all our main players. We're not talking about a knock on the ankle and he'll be back in a fortnight. We're talking 6 to 8 weeks for all of them. All of them.
Yeah.
And some of the players have been out for 6 to 8 weeks and have injured themselves getting fit and are out for another 8 weeks. And that's got nothing to do with the manager or anything. It's just frustrating. The 2 fullbacks particularly, we can't afford to be losing them for 6 to 8 weeks, but we're going to have to. And that's the end of the story. And that's I think, from my personal point of view, it's so frustrating. I thought, and the 2 fullbacks stand out. I thought, these are the best 2 we've ever had. They are sensational. And then, boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
We've got 2 guys who ain't bad, but they ain't good.
Yeah.
They're not something you could do without.
Is that why Brady was brought in, though, to try and stop all the injuries? Or
that was my thinking. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah, surely he's got to come back. I mean, he hasn't been to the league.
I think it's more to do with nutrition, wasn't it? And like confidence and.
I know, but it's normal players, they twist their ankle. It's 3 weeks, but ours is 6 to 8.
It's because we sign injury-prone players.
Yeah, like
and
Simon
also, how
Roberts.
much of it is down to the fact that, as it was announced the other day, part of our training still consists up at Wastills, and we've gone back to Wastills. And I remember from playing there myself that the ground up there is like a bog, and it doesn't matter how much you put into it, it's not going to change because it's clay based underneath. Yeah. So, how much of that is down to the injuries that we are getting? If that is the case, let's go back to Wasps and stay there. You know, it's simple.
Sorry, did you say there, Craig, that we've gone back to Wastills? Because I thought we were still in Henley.
They are doing certain amounts of training at Henley, and then it was announced that certain parts of it were being completed at Wastills.
I didn't realise they'd gone back, to be honest.
That doesn't make any... That's just ridiculous. Why would you do half in one place and half in the other?
I think it was possibly to do with some of the indoor side of things, because I don't think they've got an indoor centre out there at the Wasps training ground.
They must have.
Yeah,
got a nice gym there.
Because Coventry go there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, moving on. But just coming quickly back onto the euphoria. I think everybody was on cloud nine, obviously, because we've just been taken over. We've just signed all these new players, and then we've had 3 or 4 really good results. You know, so it's just everybody's on, cloud nine, and now we've just been brought down a peg or two. So let's just keep moving forward with it and see where we finish up and how we end up doing, over the next sort of 5 to 10 games and go from there, I'd say.
Yeah. Mark, sorry, Paul, can I ask Mark a question? Mark, are we sort of getting any sort of exposure still in America?
It's not massive anymore, really. It's gone down. But obviously the NFL season started as well now, so...
Yeah.
When they took over, there was no American football on either. So a lot of the ESPN coverage now is, NFL season and college football and that sort of stuff. So, it's not just us. It's not just us. It's every club now that doesn't really get a mention. In the Premier League. But again, we have been on ESPN a couple of times, which I've never really seen before. So we've got bits. But once the NFL season goes again in January, then they have to look for something else to talk about. So we may crop back up then somewhere.
Yeah. We're on Sky more than ever, so we must be doing something right at the moment. I mean, they just seem to love taking out...
12's away from home, Craig.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We're on Sky loads.
They don't like Claire, they like Blues.
They don't like us having to leave the house at 7 o'clock and stay the night over because it's 4.5 hour drive. But
I know, yeah, nightmare. Anyway, moving on, Craig. Have we got any squad number game this week?
We've only got 15 minutes left. We've only got 15 minutes left, by the way.
I know you've the last 15. Have you got squad game or squad number game? Sorry,
it's squad number game.
Go on,
okay.
It's another one where we've got a bit of a split number. So similar to like we did before, I'll give you the number. I want to know who the player is. But also, same as the last one, we actually have 2 players representing the number during the season.
Wow.
So this season is 2002-2003.
Right.
And the squad number that I'm pointing out there is number 25. So who played 25 during the 2002-2003 season? And not just that, there were 2 players. Who were they? Just to make it even more interesting, what positions did they play?
Okay, I'll know one straight away.
No Googling.
Okay, shall I shut up or should
I? No, go on. No, that's the idea of the game.
I know Matthew Upson wore 25 as soon as he signed.
Yeah.
Correct. He is one of those.
Knew that one.
I know that one, Joe, yeah? I know the other one as well, Paul.
Do you? Is it Darryl? It's not Darryl Powell, is it?
It was Darryl Powell, yeah.
It was Darryl Powell.
Wow.
And he played in midfield, so your knowledge again, Mr.
Wow. My own game, haven't I? Sorry, everyone watching.
Completely.
So what else should we play then?
Last 15 seconds, that was it.
Yeah. So that, ladies and gentlemen, was squad number game.
Good night.
As we enter the last 15 then, for this week, so what we do now, Joe, we do a word association now, anything to do with football and a particular thing. Okay, so we do get some absolute belters every week on this one.
Oh, yeah, crackers.
So this week, we want anything to do with desserts and football. So desserts.
Can I have an example?
Or puddings.
Yeah,
Like Noel Bake.
Right.
yeah.
Declan Rice pudding.
I'll start us off with Jelly Adebola.
Yeah.
Declan Rice pudding.
Declan Rice pudding.
What about
Got Haagen-Dazs.
Jelly had a bowl of jelly and ice cream?
Yeah,
Deli had a bowl of custard from Pete Taylor.
good one. Yeah, Bernard Sunday.
Bernard Sunday.
And whilst these are coming through, another squad number from that same season, 15. Can you name the player?
Yeah.
15.
I'm going to shut up now.
15.
Yeah, you.
Do you know it though?
Yeah.
Of course,
I hate you.
That was when my life peaked, mate, as a Blues fan, that season. You know what I mean? First season in the Prem.
It's gone downhill.
We're signing Duke Gary, we're signing Matthew Upson. We're signing some great players that first season, didn't we?
Oh, definitely. Barry Fry, Turkish Delight.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 15 in 2002, 2003. And is it two players that wore that or just one?
Just the one.
Yeah, I know that.
Brakovic.
Yeah, Joe, do you know, mate? 0203, number 15.
I knew the first one, annoyingly, even though I was like 7. I'm not even going to guess now, but...
Oh, wait.
No.
Hang on.
I know it. Paul, you're not asking me.
Mark,
Well,
Mr. Meredith, I've just heard you pronounce the name, actually, and you pronounced it slightly wrong, but you're on the ball.
Was it Karofsky?
Joe
Karofsky.
The American?
yeah.
So you didn't even ask me, and I mean America as well.
Sorry, Mark. I might have been wrong.
What about number 14, 2005, 2006?
What number was that, Paul? 40.
Number 14, 2005, 2006.
No.
While
No.
while you're thinking of that, I'll just go through some of these. Knickerbocker Glory Hunters. Lychee Messi. Mo Fruit Salad. Sunday League. Bernard Sunday. Yeah, we had that one. Yeah. Declan Rice Pudding. We had that one. Jasper Carrot Cake. David Dundee Cake. Jamie Lee. Pineapple Upside Greg Downs Cake. Anders Imp Beer. No, I don't understand that. Brickshay. Joe Tart goalie. Joe Tart, he means, yeah. Yeah, there we go.
Joe Tart.
Awful.
Have Eton Messi.
Absolutely awful. It's a messy. That is a
Eton Messi.
really good one.
It's a Messi. That's the best one.
That's my mum, that is.
Well done. Well done.
Well done, Mommy Giblin.
Very good.
Absolutely, yeah. Best one with the first part. Joe, tell us what your first game was, mate. You remember your first game?
I don't remember my first game, but my dad used to tell me about it a lot. He said he took me there. I can't remember who it was against, but we won, and I cried because I thought I was going to be playing football. So yeah, and he took.
What a letdown.
Yeah, I thought I was coming down to play. Also, I couldn't even play football. I was terrible at it. But and then he dragged me for years. From then, probably like year. He used to take my sister loads because she's like 7 years older than me. And then probably like 03, 04, 05, he started taking me. Didn't care, hated it. And then like 06, 07 season happened. I think we had Colchester at home first game, and it was like the bug just hit me.
Yeah.
I was bang, there we go.
Yeah, that was Nicholas Bentner's debut. He scored, and DJ Campbell scored as well.
Oh, DJ Campbell, man.
And Jerome got sent off, didn't he?
Jerome got sent off. Yeah, we lost. We won rather. Was it 2-1?
2-1. Yeah, 2-1.
Yeah, I remember that.
We had a great season then. It was like I don't know if it was that season. It might have been a couple later where we played Wolves. We got a man sent off and we still won the game. Like we just were a different animal back then.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll get it back. We just got to get out of that whole system of this is typical Blues and we never get the rub of the green. It will happen. It's gonna happen for us, and we're gonna be good.
So positive.
I think Adam Wilkes may actually be taking the lead with the best one here with Dennis Battenberg Camp.
Excellent.
We've also had Barry Apple Pie.
What about Strudel Van Nistelrooy?
Strudel.
Yep, very good. Very good.
I didn't have so many different desserts.
Yeah.
I didn't find one that went with tiramisu because that's the only dessert I can think of. Tiramisu. I don't know.
Mof.
Salad
That's a
instead
good
of
one.
salad
Yeah, it is a
by
good one.
Hobro
Yeah.
is very good as well.
Fantastic, yeah.
I can't believe nobody said Darren Ambrosia.
Darren
I
Ambrose.
saw
Yeah,
Darren
yeah.
Ambrose at the weekend.
Did you?
Yeah, we walked past
Oh.
him. He was busy going in because he used to play for them, didn't he? So I think he was on there. He was
course.
going into the press part.
Okay.
Should have let me know. I would have asked him to vote for us.
Mark, you were miles away. You're still getting the taxi, and you didn't even know where you were going.
Oh, come
Mark was trying to get autographs from the people on the bar.
Mark, can we have the full story? Because we've got 25 minutes.
Hey, Chris
Well,
Sutton.
no, well,
Yes, who said that?
Me.
Sorry, I
Hello,
thought you were
I'm here.
Red Mark.
I'm here. Chris Sutton, 40.
Okay, that was your answer. Sorry, I thought you was reading out someone's answer for a minute there on the chat box or something.
No, that was my answer, yeah.
Yeah, it was Chris Sutton, Mark. Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
So basically, there's no trains, so I had to get a megabus from the back of New Street. First time I've ever used it. Got it 8 o'clock Saturday morning. Got to Norwich sort of 12ish. Jumped off. Went to buy a sandwich, something to eat. I was starving. And then I tried walking to the ground, and one of the locals said, "Oh, it's about a half-hour walk." So I got into a taxi. I got an Uber. It's supposed to be an Uber, but it kept cancelling on me. So I just jumped in one of their local sort of white cabs. Got a Greek taxi driver who charged me a £5 because apparently he'd won 25 grand the night before on a roulette.
This is a book.
So he dropped me off. He dropped me off near the ground. Sort of walked past the station up to Carrow Road. Sort of saw people I knew, and then sort of met up with Claire. Claire got me a drink. Cheers, that Claire.
No problem.
She won't forget.
Claire was supping a green tea. I did ask her if she was
I did like Coke on that point. That's why I done that point.
and then afterwards, after the game, I sort of walked back into Norwich City Centre. I had 2 hours. My coach back was at 7, so I had a couple of hours to kill. Again, I just I had something to eat. Again, I had a coffee, and then found out that our megabus was actually delayed by 2 and a bit hours because, well, they didn't even tell us. One of the blokes in the queue rang the helpline and they said, "Oh, sorry, there's been an accident, so it's turning up at 9:10." So turned up 9:10, went to Cambridge, dropped people off there. I think they were students. Got back to Brum about 1 o'clock, but it did stop at Rugby Services where the driver and an irate passenger almost had a scrap. They were swap drivers. This bloke went tearing down the aisle of the megabus, screaming and roaring, "You're 2 hours late. What are you changing for?" And they almost had a punch up. And I just sank even further into my seat. Just looked up at the heavens and thought,
megabus.
What a day.
The megabus was mega late and mega hostile by the sounds of it.
It was honestly, it was just it's just the worst away day ever.
That was on at 7.
Yeah, and that, ladies and gentlemen, was the life story of Mark Adams on Saturday.
Yeah.
Has he finished?
That was me on.
Why did you not give him a ride? That's my question. Why did you not give him a ride, Claire?
Because I was too busy trying to get home myself, and I didn't have time to give him a lift to Coventry.
And to be fair, I did sleep over in Harborne at Mum and Dad's, but I think Craig was texting her saying, "Whatever you do not give him a lift."
Yeah.
To be fair, at 2-0, we left at 90 dead on, and then I went back, and then he just waved and went, "Bye." I went, "All right then, see you later."
I mean, if she had given you a lift, you wouldn't have had that fantastic story to tell your grandchildren.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, Joe,
Yeah.
what's your most adventurous away day? What's sort of like your best? What's your favourite away day, and also what's your most adventurous story you can tell us?
Adventurous. I mean, I don't know. I went to maybe the Hibs game in pre-season. We went up to Hibs, so it was quite nice. But I think the most memorable one for me, probably Hull, where we lost 6-1.
Oh God, I went to that as well. I was at that one.
Just trying to get back from that was a pain, if I remember. Just like rain, and then we had to wait for a bus, and then we parked because it was like a park and ride thing. and after a 6-1, really wasn't the place to go. But like, I don't think I've had any like real crazy away days. The furthest one would be Hibs. So yeah, there you go, short and sweet from me.
Yeah.
Did anybody go to Ancona?
The Battle of Ancona.
Did anybody go to Ancona?
I know you did, Alan.
Oh, Joe wouldn't have even been born then.
No,
I did.
No. Yeah, I know you did. You did, Alan.
It was
That's some away game.
Well, you
I'll
got
tell you
long
what.
enough in the programme to tell you the story of Ancona.
I've got a good one actually. I remember now. I was on holiday randomly in like Mallorca or something, and was just walking through town, and I was like 10, 11 years old, and I go, Dad, look, it's Blues are on the poster there, and it was like, no, you know what you're about, and I pull him round, and he's like, oh, they are, and it turns out, total coincidence, Blues are playing a friendly 5 minutes down the road, right, at this random tiny stadium. This was when Forsell, Damian Johnson, all that lot are playing for us. So we go, and there's no one there. Like, there's like 20 people there. Like, I couldn't believe how empty it was. And I got to like go into the thing and like where they're all sat on the bench and get every single one of their autographs. And the only one I've actually kept is Forsell's, and I was loving it. It was the best day ever. And then, but like after the game happened, like or before, my mum walked around to go to the toilet, and the sprinklers came on and got her. So it was just a brilliant day all round. I loved it.
Brilliant.
Go on, Craig.
We've had some great ones coming in on the shout box. So Teddy sharing in the trifle. Sherry in the trifle.
Trophy.
That's a good one.
Trophy.
We've had a Jason Lemon Drizzle instead of Dazelle.
Yeah, that works.
Well, apparently, Mark, it's your own
Yeah.
fault for living in Coventry that you didn't get a lift. So the moral of the story is don't live in Coventry.
Absolutely.
Who's that from?
Your mum.
That's some Craig.
We got a Jam Roly Poly Ruddock. Nigel Creamhorn.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Cream.
Walter Pandiano, because he was the El Trifle.
Like it.
Yeah.
And also we've had Stephen Clem Mince Pie.
Yeah.
Oh, Don Kavanagh, read that one at the end. The last one.
Oh, I'm still trying. I'm still playing catch up.
So here we go. Dom Kavanagh says, Tarantini portion, please. I'm on a diet. Oh, how well
Very
did
clever.
he think that one out? How well. Excellent.
And Ray Hoggrower said Wayne Macaroni.
Clever.
Yeah.
Clever. Well, I think we've come to the end, haven't we, Paul? You can say goodbyes if you like.
Yeah, so Joe, thanks for giving up your time, mate. I'll start with you. So good night from me, obviously. And good night from Joe, obviously. I'll over to Joe.
Hey, Paul, scores for tomorrow and Friday first? Or
Yeah,
not?
quickly. Yeah.
That's only if we follow an agenda, mate. That never happens.
He wasn't in the meeting,
So
was he?
I'll go 2-1 tomorrow, and I'll go 1-1 on Friday. Joe?
I think 0-0 tomorrow, 2-1 Blues Friday. Beat the Baggies.
Alan?
A 2-1 and a 0-0, and I don't know which way round.
Any of them will do.
2-0 Tomato Blues and 2-2 on Friday.
Mark?
I think I've got a funny feeling that us three are going to get a draw. I think 1-1 for both.
1-1 for both. Okay.
Yeah.
Mark?
I'm going to go 1-0 both for Blues.
Getty, that'd be good. Craig?
I think 2-0 tomorrow, 1-0 Friday, and Liv's with me, and she said 2-1 for both of the games to Blues.
That'll do for me, Liv. Chris?
Yeah, I'm going to go 1-0 both games.
Okay, that'll do us. Definitely. Well, this has been the Tilton Talk Show. Sponsored by Small Affordable Cars, am I right?
Well done, because we forgot that at the beginning. We're going to get in trouble, aren't we? We're in trouble.
So, Joe, thanks for joining us, mate. It's been a pleasure having you on.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. Nice one.
Keep up the good work on your vlogs, mate. I'll keep watching. Loving every one of them.
Fantastic.
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Cheers,
Thank you
Joe.
very much. And I'll make sure I vote for you as well.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Yeah. good night from Alan.
Hello, everybody.
Claire.
Good night, keep right on.
Good night from Mark. Coventry.
Good night, everyone. Have a good week.
Good night from Mark in Dallas.
Good night, John Boy.
I was waiting for that.
Craig.
Good night, everyone. Don't forget to vote, and vote again. Everything's appreciated.
And good night from the main man.
Good night, and please, as Craig has just said, vote for Tilton Talk Show. Good night.
Good night.
Bye, Mark.
Bye, Belly Bob. See you, Belly Bob.
Bye,
Take care.
Claire.
Yeah, don't
All
forget
the best. See you later. Bye-bye.
Good night, Claire.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye,
Mr.
Mark.
Chairman.
Good night, Craig. Say good night. Did I say good night to Mark? Yeah. Good night, Mark.
See you tomorrow, Craig.
Good night, Paul.
Love you all.
Don't forget the flag, Mark.
I'll see you tomorrow. I'll give you the flag. You turn the light off for Mr. Water. Cheers.
Don't catch a bus tomorrow, Mark. You might get lost.
I'll end up in Norwich.